Okay, Google discovered versus scroll not indexed quality issues in AI generated content. So, John Mueller and Martin Splitt were on the latest Search of the Record podcast discussing things around how quality issues and low quality AI generated content can impact your website indexability in search, right? So, basically, I'm going to summarize this and then we can chat about it. So Martin Splitt asked John basically if people see crawl not currently not indexed error in Search Console, this can possibly be a content quality issue. So John said yes, sometimes it can be right, and then here he said that issues like crawl not indexed and discover not indexed are basically Google telling you that hey, I saw those URLs, I'm aware of them, and when I feel happy about them, I'm going to index them, right? So there is something with those URLs that's just making Google not want to index them right now. And there are two main themes that may cause this. It's either a technical issue or it's a quality issue, content quality issue, right? That's me now speaking, okay? But the thing is, for technical issues, is if the advantage is that you know where to look, what to audit, what to check. So I think you should start there, unless you know for sure that your content is not good to begin with, right? So you start with the technical audit. And from experience, I've seen websites that are JavaScript heavy, experience indexability issues, so this may be your thing. Maybe you need to fix your JavaScript issues. So start there, right? Now, content issues. So first of all, if Google sees your website overall as having quality issues, these errors may start popping up. Other things may happen as well, by the way. But if your content is thin, I had a client one time reach out asking for why their URLs are not getting indexed. The website was very small. Okay, so we haven't established a lot of authority. Don't have a lot of great content. You have not earned trust yet in search. And then there was a lot of thin content pages where with minimal text. I'm like, what is this? And then tons of JavaScript issues, right? Like Google cannot see anything on the page if you switch off JavaScript. So I know, of course, Google is way better right now with handling JavaScript, but it's still a concern, right? It's still not ideal. It's still a challenge in a way, right? So that client had all the reasons for those URLs not to get indexed. So you want to dig into this a bit. If you don't have JavaScript issues and, you've checked generally no server issues, no soft 404s, whatever, then you check the content. If you have low quality content, if it's AI generated, and when we say AI generated, that the bad AI generated is the ones that one click blog post kind of thing, not AI assisted writing, because even I use AI to write my blogs. And when I say this, I don't mean that I go to ChatGPT and say, hey, write me this blog post. It doesn't work like that. I write and then I ask ChatGPT to phrase this better or polish this or grammar check, right? So it's that kind of writing when you're using it as a proofreader or a helper, it's okay, but the ideas are yours, the thinking is yours, the analysis is yours. You're adding your unique perspective. That is high quality. But if you're just using those AI generated tools that, hey, generate a blog about this, and here are some titles to include in the middle. And yeah, that is basically very low quality. And if that's what you're doing, even if it performs a bit over and over, we've seen this not last. So basically, low quality content, heavily AI written content that has no effort put into it, because content effort is also important, right? Like the measure of how much effort was put into creating a piece of content is also actually a sign of quality. So here's what Google says in its Search Quality Evaluators guidelines. Creating an abundance of content with little effort or originality, with no editing or manual curation, is often the defining attribute of spammy websites, right? So if Google doesn't trust your website and labels your website as less trustworthy, or you have questionable content quality, Google will hold off on indexing your URLs. And obviously, we've heard about scaled content abuse, which is a spam practice described in the Google search web spam policies. Scaled content abuse occurs when many pages are generated for the purpose of primarily benefiting the website owner and not helping users. I think it's the same thing over and over. Google doesn't want you to create content for any other reason except for the user. Their entire thing, when they say helpful content, their goal is they want you to create content for the users, not for search, not for manipulating the search, certainly, right? And then they gave some examples here, using automated tools, low effort way to produce many pages, scraping feeds, search results, or other content to generate many pages, stitching or combining content from different web pages without adding value, creating multiple sites with the intent of hiding the scaled nature of the content, creating many pages where content makes little or no sense to a reader but contains search keywords, and so on, right? I really recommend you read this. These things will also cause you a problem in getting indexed, okay? And I also want to end this by this post I posted on LinkedIn, or we shared on LinkedIn last year. I said, I think if a URL has no value, it is less likely to get recrawled. Still think this is true. But what if you say, okay, Sarah, but these URLs were indexed, they were performing well, and suddenly they fell out of the index? Okay, this may mean they don't have a technical issue because they have been indexed, but it may be a quality issue, and crawl currently not indexed may spike at the very same time when you have URLs falling out of index, right? And that means you have a quality issue. And if Google, one of the things, if you're doing a log file analysis and which pages are getting crawled, right? If a URL does not get free crawled, it will fall out of the index, right? You would still know that this is a content quality issue. Okay? Hope you found this useful, and see you next video.